listening to The Mountain Gardener with local expert Ken Lain. Mountain gardening is very rewarding, with a few Ken's tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts sure to turn your thumbs even greener. Now welcome back to The Mountain Gardener.
All right, back in the studio, Lisa Waters Lane, my favorite gal in all the world, truly, at least for 36 years. So before that, still, besides my mom, okay. You're my favorite gal besides my mom. Okay. I should send this segment to my mom.
You should.
So anyway, Lisa comes in and just shares her garden tips, just kind of another perspective, another gardener's opinion. Mm-hmm. And I value your opinion, and you are just a good gardener. So,
well, thank you.
Welcome back to the studio.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
What do you got for us this week, or what's on your mind?
Well, we are going to talk about evergreens.
'Tis the season.
It's a great time to plant those evergreens, and we're getting fresh loads in, so it's a great time to find those evergreens. Yeah. But first, I want to show something pretty to our vloggers.
That's cheating.
Bloggers,
that's not evergreen. That's just.
It's not. But this is a little viola.
Not so little. It's nice and big. Yeah, it looks good. It's
just so pretty. And just, I love violas. They are so tough, and they just bloom, bloom, bloom. And I just love the colors on that. It's Badger colors.
Badger, go Prescott High. We next week we also have Bradshaw and Chino Valley colors. So we got all three.
We
go
do,
Cougars.
But we're Badger alumni.
That's true.
So we got
class of 81. Boy, we just dated ourselves.
You did.
I didn't graduate. I married a gal from 82. We did not date through high school.
We did not.
We dated through college.
Yes.
We didn't actually meet each other until you just graduated, just before you graduated high school.
We lived in different worlds.
We did. What kind of world did you live in? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mine was do I really have to go to school?
Really?
And yours was I
love school. Everything about school is great. School's just a big social, it's like a big old party. Mm-hmm. Meet friends. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can learn something. It doesn't matter. It's about the people.
Yeah. Weren't you voted Mr. Spirit 1 year?
Okay, don't go down that path. So, yes.
How we ever found each other, because talk about two
church choirs.
People. Church choir, that's true.
That's it. Yeah. You sang in a church choir, traveling church choir, traveled the roads of North America, singing in churches and malls and parks around the country.
I think there's some cassette tapes out there.
That's really dating us. Oh my gosh! Not even a CD or anything.
Can
you even get either one? You can't get a cassette. You can get records now. But you can't get CDs. I don't know if you can get a CD or not.
I think you can. You can get CDs.
Still. I mean, my car I just bought
doesn't even
have a CD player. Everything's hard drived.
Right.
You load it ahead of time. We have friends that traveled up to Alaska. They drove their trailer. Yeah. They were gone for like 2-3 months. So, well, what do you do when the satellite radio goes out just over the border because the satellites can't reach it? What do you do? He goes, well, Ken, my wife, she brought her iPod. She did what? I haven't heard that word in a while. You didn't even load it to your phone. It's like it's an iPod. Have a separate hard drive just for my music.
It's crazy how fast things change.
Not that long ago.
No.
That's called legacy technology. Mm-hmm. What we don't want are legacy plants.
True.
We go back and wrap it up into gardening
Look
advice.
at you do that segue.
There we go. It's like I'm a good interviewer or something. Legacy evergreens. You're doing evergreens?
Yes.
Evergreens in the garden.
Right.
You'll want some. And these are the best. These are top 10.
And that's why he was voted Mr. Spirit. And I was not.
Alumni of the Year, you have Pike College. Ooh, there we go.
Let's see if I ever won anything. No. Okay. All right. Evergreens. So we got some nice ones in. We have more coming in. So we're even going to have more than what we have right now. But we got a really nice shipment of baby blue spruce in. So this is that. It's kind of a newer version. They're always coming out with new versions, right?
Yeah.
So it's the newer version. It is a very pretty silvery blue color, and it'll keep that color. So it's very
thicker
nice
too. It's like it's like more layers. It's got like a Colorado spruce only with an extra layer in between. It's very tight.
Right.
And then it's extremely blue. Like you said, it's not
Right.
even blue. It's silver. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very attractive. And these are great because they've been grown specially for us. So
Yeah.
they are well rooted out. They're going to take and do well in our area. So that's very important. They're kind of a little slow growing, which probably for some of our yards are terrific because it'll take them a while to get up to that 10 to 15, but they'll eventually get up to that 20, 30 easily.
Yeah.
But just really pretty color, great
Christmas
specimen
tree.
tree.
I mean,
Yeah.
just it's a holiday tree.
Right.
You just want to put Christmas lights on it and it'll glow in the dark.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Very, very pretty tree. One, like I said, nice specimen tree if you want a special tree. We also got some Vanderwolf pines
That's
in,
an unusual one.
which is a really pretty kind of a two-tone needle, kind of green and silvery, actually. Very soft. Like we always call it the teddy bear tree.
It's the softest of all the conifers. You just want to hug it. And
You
it hugs you back. It's the only conifer that will hug you back.
It's true. Usually when we unload conifers, spruce, we're like covered in rashes for days. But the Vanderwolfs were like, oh, okay, we love you. We'll put you down. But just a real pretty long needled pine tree. It does well in our area. Our neighbor has a beautiful one.
Stunning.
So it's a great one to look at as well. Bosnian pine, which is very similar to the Austrian pine. It just doesn't get as large. Am I right on that?
Half size.
Right.
Yeah, it's still a long needle pine. I don't know, 2-3 inches long. Very green.
Yes.
Very thick. Very much a solid trunk. Central leader. Very much layered like a pine tree. But it doesn't grow as fast. So for those smaller yards, it's almost preferred over an Austrian pine, or definitely better than a ponderosa. Which they get. Ponderosa, you just plant in a trunk. There's no real tree. The tree's up there. You don't see it. It's a trunk.
So those are definitely cool. We do have the Austrians as well, which do get up 30 feet, 15 feet wide or so, maybe more. Fast growing. So if you're looking for a screen tree, you need to block that neighbor that's building a house behind you, or their RV garage, something like that. It's a great tree for that.
That's Austrian. Yeah, they got some. It's got to be 10 feet tall out there.
Oh, we got some huge ones.
I think that's another one. People go, oh, you only have small ones. Well, you got to be early for the big ones, because big ones those must be 12 years old. So they were planted back in 2010, 11. They just came in, and when they're gone, it's not like you go hit a time machine button. You go back 10 years and you have another 10-footer out there.
You can't go back to the factory. Definitely. There are some big, beautiful ones there. Oregon green pine, which all three of those guys are kind of related. So the Oregon green is even smaller, gets 10 to 12 feet, a little bit shorter needled, very, very green, and more compact, I would say. So another good one for those small spaces.
I would say the Oregon green, if I relate them to pine trees, is kind of like the baby blue spruce is to spruce trees. It's got an extra layer. It's just thicker. It's got more pattern to it, which is very striking. But very, very green. One's very green. One's very blue or silver. And they're companions. Right. They like to grow with each other.
They do. All right. That's with the pines. And so then we move into the Arizona cypress.
Ooh.
So, and that's when we have kind of all different sizes on 5s, 10s, 15, 20s. It's an indigenous tree for here. So if you're of that ilk that you want to put a tree in, and after a few years, you just want to go, I don't want to keep watering that tree. Cypress, you can just go, okay, get them to a certain age, and then you just go take care of yourself. Go be strong, little bird, and leave the nest. But
where did that come from?
I don't know.
I was just thinking indigenous
People's Day.
People's Day was or Columbus Day, whatever you want to call it, was a few days ago.
Right.
We should encourage the city or some group to plant an indigenous Arizona cypress on that day to mark the day to celebrate that.
On the courthouse.
Maybe we can get to the Yavapai Nation. We can see if they would want to plant some at the casino or something. There's got to be a way. It just sounds good. Indigenous tree for indigenous people. We're gonna plant.
Well, we're running out of time, so I'm going to cut you off.
I had a thought.
So there's regular Arizona cypress, the true native one, and then there's a cousin called the icy blue.
Yeah.
And it is silvery blue. There again, you can definitely see a difference in the coloring on it. And it doesn't get quite as large either, probably 20 feet, whereas a regular
Once you're
one,
above 15 feet, they're all just
doesn't
big.
matter.
So just they're big.
a little more slower growing than the regular Arizona cypress, but
just as thick,
really
though.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the color.
I mentioned too, a lot of folks don't realize, but you really do want to buy your conifers, these trees. You can't just grow them in a field. These are all grown in fields. Dig them up, put them in a pot, bring them to the nursery, and have them live. You want to dig them in a field. You dig them up, you transfer them into a container or a ball and burlap. Then you root them on for another year. Then you bring them in. A lot of garden centers, they take the shortcut and they bring them right in. Yeah. And then you struggle because they died like the next spring.
To really
and they wouldn't take the extra step. It drives me crazy. Sometimes, folks, it's not you. It's the person that sold you the plant that gave you the wrong plant or didn't take the time to get rid of it anyway. We're out of time.
Yeah, I didn't finish my list.
So Ken and Lain, the Mountain Gardeners, be right back after this.
Prescott Blaze maple is the fastest local tree with brilliant red foliage.
Prescott Blaze maples grow 3 feet each year. That's fast.
Prescott Blaze maples are perfect for patios or any place a shade tree is needed.
We have a limited number of huge, instant Prescott Blaze maples, but the $249 size is exceptionally nice.
The maples are brighter in Prescott at Waters Garden Center.
Or shop online at top10trees.com.
Look for more tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts through Ken's website. Podcast the show, read his weekly garden column, or follow him on Facebook and Instagram at watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com.